अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरिं श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्रं भजे अच्युतं केशवं सत्यभामाधवं माधवं श्रीधरं राधितं इन्दिरामन्दिरं चेतसा सुन्दरं देवकी नन्दनं नन्दजं सन्ददे।
ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सर्व वेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरम तमगोचरम गोविंदम परमानंदम सद्गुरुं प्रणतोस्म्यहम्। जंतूनां नरजन्म दुर्लभम् अतः पुंस्त्वं ततो विप्रता तस्मात् वैदिक धर्म मार्ग परता विद्वत्त्वम् अस्मात् परम् आत्मानात्म विवेचनम् स्वानुभवो ब्रह्मात्मना संस्थितिः मुक्तिः मुक्तिर्नो शतजन्म कोटि सुकृतैः पुण्यैर्विना न लभ्यते. We were seeing this verse about why the human birth is durlabham and Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata and Vidvatvam Atmanatma Vivechanam. Till here we were seeing Atma Anatma Vivechanam, the discrimination between what is Atma and what is Anatma. That also is not easily obtained. Even for a person who has good Vedic knowledge, Vidvatvam and Vaidika Dharma Parata, it is not by default the person gets Mumukshutvam, that I need something which gives me absence of limitation. Because what we are actually seeking is only freedom from limitation. Though we think we are seeking dharma, artha, kama, we are actually only seeking moksha. The four purusharthas we talk about, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Artha means seeking security. Seeking security is because I see myself as insecure. I see myself dependent on a lot of things, including money, bank balance, lot of comforts. Even a cell phone becomes a necessity these days. If you don't have a charger for a few hours, you are stuck, don't know what to do. So like Swami Vivekananda used to say, the more things become necessity to you, the more bound you are. The more things become luxury, the more free you are. So move things which are a necessity into luxuries, then you are actually making a progress. But what we see happening these days is more and more what used to be luxury has become a necessity. Phone was a luxury. Not everybody had phone. But now phone is a necessity for everyone, including a 3-year-old. Air condition was a luxury, but now air condition is a necessity. Bed was a luxury, now bed is a necessity. Nobody can lie down on the floor in these days. Going to a restaurant was a luxury in my childhood days. Every day we just order Swiggy and all that. So what used to be a luxury has become a necessity, which means you can't survive without those. So more and more we are bound. Okay, that is artha, sense of insecurity. So freedom from insecurity is what you are seeking by seeking money. You think money will give you that freedom from insecurity. Then you have the kama, which is a sense of want, love, affection, all these kind of things, right? I want to be happy, happiness seeking. But again, you find yourself only happy in a very limited fashion. Happiness is like 1% of your life, and 99% you are always sad. There are a lot of things which are pending which will make you happy. You want your environment to change, ecosystem to change, people around you to change, your own self to change, your mind to change, your body to look different. There are a zillion things that you have in the order of priority, and it never gets over. There are new things added every other day. You have an agenda for who should become the prime minister, who should be the chief minister, who should become party president, who should become somebody, depending on where your like is. And then your identity with your race, your country, your language, your fraternity, all these are, you have a sense of belonging, and for each one of that you have an agenda. So the life is full of agenda, and then you will be happy only if these agendas are fulfilled. So you are inherently unhappy all the time, except for few flashes of happiness, and you are seeking freedom from this wanting you, the unhappy you. That is what is called kama. Then you have dharma. There is a certain sense of righteousness, how you look upon yourself. So you want to follow dharma. You want to see yourself as a righteous person. Even a wrong guy tries to justify his act or her act, because they want to see themselves as righteous. So there is a pursuit of dharma, and then we also have Shastra induced want of going to heaven, Swarga, Loka. That also becomes a pursuit. Now, all these pursuits is of what? Removing the sense of limitation, the limitation of insecurity, limitation of unhappiness, space-wise limitation removal, happiness-wise limitation removal. You are seeking to be free from the limitation. And the limitation is expressed in terms of these various dimensions. The limitation expressed in terms of my size, my time, my existence, my knowledge, my happiness. All these are expressions, manifestation of the same limitation that I see myself to have. That limitation is what I am seeking to remove. Therefore, actually what I am seeking is moksha. The limitation removal is what is called as moksha. So that is the mumukshutvam, the person who has the understanding that I want to be free is my only goal. Everyone wants moksha as one of the things. But if somebody has the exclusive goal that all I want is only moksha, even when I am doing action, that is what is called as mumukshutvam. That mumukshutvam is what is here also spoken about atmanatma vivechanam, because when I seek moksha, then I am also having that moksha, and that doesn't come by through a lot of punya. That's why it says punyair vina na labhyate brahmatmana samstitihi. That is a moksha. Sata janma koti sukritaihi punyaihi. So there are different types of punya also. One type of punya gives you all the worldly samsarika sukha. which can include even going to Swarga and all that. That is also samsarika sukha only. Samsara doesn't mean only earth. Then there is other type of punya which is called subha ichha, which can give you subha ichha, which gives you the moksha ichha, moktum ichha, which is mumuksha. That mumukshutvam can come also through punya, and that punya is the Ishvara anugraha. Shatakoti janma krita punyam. Okay, kritaihi punyehi. This we saw. Let's go to the next verse. Durlabham trayame vayetat devanugraha hetukam manushyatvam mumukshutvam mahaburusha samshrayah. There are three things which are durlabham. Okay. What are those three things? Deva manushyatvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha samshrayah. The manushyatvam which already has been spoken about, and mumukshutvam we just spoke about. Moktumicha mumuksha. I want to be free from limitation. Then you have Mahapurusha Samshrayaha, who means Yuga Purusha, somebody who is born only in 1,000 years. Brahman. That is a Mahapurusha. The Purusha who has the knowledge of Mahat Brahman. The Brahmajnani is Mahapurusha. And the person also should be in a position to teach. It is important. Then only that Samsharaya will work. Okay. So, if we are just doing a Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Param Brahma Tattvam, then that won't work. You need to be taught. It is another, the whole problem. We will go to a person who says, I know Brahman. No. Who says, I don't know the Brahman, that person also you can't go to. Then who will you go to? And then Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Param Brahma Tattvam, somebody who is just silent. And then you just go and sit near that person, then you suddenly one flicker of Brahma Jnanam, nothing like that will happen. It needs to be taught. Okay. So, Bhagavan in Gita and in Veda also, it clearly says that only by Shravanenaiva Jnanam. You need to listen. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam Gurumeva Abhigachet Samitpanihi. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Okay. Tadvidhi Pranibadena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti De Jnanam Jnaninaha Tattvadarshinaha. That is what is said. And that person should be a jnani. That's why it is Mahapurusha. The person is Mahan. Why Mahan? Because Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. So when the person's mind has gained this jnana and who is in the nishtha that Aham Brahmasmi, then that person is Mahan because he is as good as the Brahman. He is Brahman himself. He or she. He, because we are used to talking he, I use the pronoun he. Don't assume it indicates a gender. That's not the idea here. So he or she is Brahman only. The only way for you to gain jnanam is create the jignasa, want to know, and go and gain the tutelage of a teacher who is a jnani. That is very difficult to get. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschiti yenam ascharyavid vadati tataiva chanyaha ascharyavat chayenam anyashrunoti shutvapenam vedana chaiva kaschiti is what in Gita Bhagavan says. Therefore, Mahapurusha Samsraya also is difficult because you don't know who is Mahapurusha. To gain the right kind of teacher itself is a blessing only. Okay. First of all, you should be fully committed to this knowledge. Then only you will even seek the right teacher. You should first understand it is a knowledge that will liberate you. Otherwise, you will be going after moksha, after death. Now, if you that moksha is not going to help you, is to be recognized by you, because if you are a limited entity, wherever you go, you are a limited entity. Because they are talking about you going to somewhere, wherever that is, whether this god is there, that god is there, that place has trees, that place has honey. It doesn't matter, because you are the person who is going there is limited. So, and that person has all kinds of complexes. How will that person be fulfilled going to some place? This is like thinking, once I go abroad, go to Switzerland, I'll be the happiest person. Yeah, for a few hours, that's all. After that, the same person is out. So, it is a problem. So, those things will not give you the moksha that you are seeking. Once you understand that, then the only moksha which is possible is here, if you recognize that you are the fullness. If at all there is a moksha possible, the only that recognition, if there is a possibility of recognizing that you are the fullness, if that possibility is there, then moksha is possible. Otherwise, no moksha is possible. Shastra says moksha is, and that moksha is recognizing your fullness. Visha Advaita bhayam bhavati, udaramantaram kurude atadasya bhayam bhavati. All these things are said in Shastra. Therefore, you need to give benefit of doubt to Shastra to start. You can't ask, how will I know? Maybe Shastra is not correct. Okay, fine, then don't come. Nobody is pushing you, right? But if you have a chance, the only chance for you is if it were to be true. But you have to start with an ask. You have to give that benefit of doubt and start, because so many people have gained this jnana. It's not like people are bluffing all through. But if you can't trust that, then no problem, right? Then don't come. But if you want this jnana, if you want liberation, this is what Shastra says. Okay. Now person has to choose. So that mind has to be there, and that mind can come only by Ishvara. Then this Mahapurusha, how will you find out? How will you know who is a Mahapurusha? Okay. Then even, let's say, doing proper Shravana, they just recognize, let's say, because they are very super qualified uh, jivas who are born, they had only very. So, for a person to teach, the person should have done Shravana. The methodology should be known. How my guru taught me. What was the method used? So my Guruji used to say, it is like taking a person to the right spot and make the person see. Like, let's say you want to see the Kashmir Valley. So you should be taken on top of a hill or a mountain to the right spot, Kudremukh or somewhere. From where till there you don't see anything. The moment you are taken to that point and then you open the eyes, oh wow, this is the valley. You have that realization that this, how beautiful is this valley. So you need to be taken to that point where you cannot but see. That's what my Guruji used to say. That is what his teaching is about. That is called a prakriya, method by which you reveal, you make the person realize. That is called prakriya. And that can come only when you yourself have listened and gained this knowledge properly. In fact, Shastra says there is no way for you to stumble upon this knowledge. Even a person who gains the knowledge at 7 years, 8 years, would have listened to Shastra in some format. Somebody would have just spoken to that person or something, because you need to suspend yourself for you to gain this knowledge. Otherwise, the seeker is, once you are a seeker, that means you have already lost your Swarupa in being a seeker. The content of your seeker, the seeker is what is Brahman. And the moment I assume the status of a seeker, then I have already lost what my Swarupa is, because I am taking myself to be something else. Now that needs to be falsified. For falsifying that I am a seeker, I need to actually suspend my ahankara and let the shravana happen. So that is the only way to gain jnanam. So you need to be a shrotriya, you need to do shravana to gain jnanam. There is no other way. Okay, it's impossible to stumble upon this atma, because as a seeker, there is no way you can gain it unless you suspend your ahankara. Therefore, you should have been a Shrotriya. So that part, you can now find out whether a person had been a Shrotriya. But how do you know the person is a Brahmanishta? As Brahmanishta, he may be a Pandita. Okay. How can that person be identified as having Brahmanishta? My Guruji used to say that so long as the person doesn't have a Nishta in anything else, that much you can find out. The person is having an Nishta on money or fame or having more students or whatever, right? That Nishta is not there, then the Nishta has to be somewhere. Then we can assume that the person is having only Brahmanishta. Otherwise, there is no other way to find out whether the person is having a Nishta in Brahman. So, these things you figure out. That's all. Then it is again Ishvara Anugraha only that you can gain the right kind of Mahapurusha as your Guru. Because you can take a scale and keep on measuring, is he the right Guru, is she the right Guru? Okay, it's not possible. Only way you can probably do is when the teaching is going on, you can sit and listen and see if there is some clarity coming to you. Are you able to see certain true facts about yourself? Then you can probably understand that the person is a Mahapurusha. Then that Mahapurusha Samshraya has happened. So that is also very important. So here the verse is the three things are durlabham. Okay. Trayameva etat devanugraha hetukam. They are the hetu for these three things to happen is only devanugraha, ishvaranugraha, which is your punya. And what are those three? Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha Samshrayaha. So seek the same. Okay. What do you want to? What do you have to seek? Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha is not what you are seeking. You are seeking the Ishvaranugraha. By that you will get these three. Okay. So means do more and more punya. Punya paripakvam is Ishvaranugraha. There is no other Ishvaranugraha. Ishvara is not partial for one person versus other. लब्ध्वा कथञ्चिन्नरजन्मदुर्लभं तत्रापि पुंस्त्वं श्रुतिपारदर्शनं यस्त्वात्ममुक्तौ नयतेतमूढधीः स ह्यात्मः स्वं विनिहन्त्यसद्ग्रहात्. Having obtained this human body, because this birth could have been anything, you could have been born as a pig or a camel, or a human being in some other country, Timbuktu, Saudi Arabia, or you could have been doing anything, but here you are already there as a human and you are in this culture, you are already sitting and listening to Shastra, everything is there conducive. Tatrapi pumstvam stuti paradarshanam. So the Vedas and Vedanta you have recognized can probably give me moksha, at least even if you don't have stiratvam, stairyam, stira buddhi in it. At least you have said, that's why you are sitting here. You have some shraddha that this can probably give me moksha. That is there. Atma muktau nayateta mudadihi. Then if you don't make full effort, you should be fully committed that this is the only thing I need. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam mahamiham. Bhagavan says. Ananya chinta, ananya bhakti, bhaktir ananya. So the Bhagavan says, you vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana bahushaka hi anandascha buddhayaha vyavasayinam. So the one who is scattered mind will not gain this, but one who has very clear conviction and collectedness in the Nishtha on Bhagavan. All that I need is only moksha, and that is only through Bhagavan. Mad bhaktaha sangha. So in Gita again and again he says only the bhakta gains. So therefore the whole commitment person should be fully committed. That is what is this ask here. Without that mudadihi saha atmaha. This moksha also, every weekend I have some time. I will also spend some time listening to the Shastra. That is okay. That is to a start. That is fine. It is better than not doing anything at all. Okay, that is there. But if you want moksha, then this should become the fire in you. Everything that you do is only aligned towards this. Even when you are doing karma, the karma is being done. Karma means action. Okay. Any activity that you do, it should be, the sense of purpose will be to gain moksha. If you become like that, then it becomes a pursuit. Otherwise, it is out of 10 different things, this is one of the things. But if it becomes the only thing, then the person is liberated. Otherwise, what? Atmaha swam vinihanti asadrahat. Otherwise, the person is killing oneself by getting attached to so many different things. You are wasting your life. Like a parable of Sri Ramakrishna, where he says, one guy goes to a drama and he wants to see the drama. In those days, there is a stage, and he went a little early. So he anyway is a prepared guy, okay? He doesn't want to waste any time, so he had taken a mat also with him, so that if there is a time he has to wait, because if you see, you need to go early so that you can get seat. If you go late, you won't have seats there. So he goes very early so that he can get the right kind of seat. He sits in the front so he can watch the drama very happily. Goes there. The drama will take some time, they announce. So anyway, he has the mat, he puts it on the floor, he lies down and happily sleeps. And then he sleeps. Suddenly there's a lot of sound. He thought, okay, drama is going to begin. He gets up. Then he sees the whole crowd is leaving the sabha. Hey, what happened? What happened? Is the drama not there? They say, no, boss, the drama is already over. What were you doing? You were sleeping all the time? Yeah, I slept all through. I wasted the whole drama watching. He rolls up the mat and goes away. This is the parable. What do you understand? Our whole life is like that. We came here for a certain purpose. This is Manushya Janma. After striving so many births, that may I get a birth where I can get moksha. This birth I am born as a pig, next birth I am born as a cow, the next birth I am born as some Kshatriya, now I am born as a Brahmana, now I am born as a Vedanti. Okay, now I have all this. All you need is that one small effort where you listen to Shastra and have the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Nishchaya Buddhi. Just make the final ek dhakka aur de do. That very famous line is there, no? That Ram Janmabhoomi thing. The word, I don't know, people who are probably not from that era. There is a famous line by Sadhvi Ritambara and I think Uma Bharati or somebody. Ek dhakka aur de do. That is a clinching line. Like that, we are in a phase where there is a ek dhakka aur de do. Just give one more push, you will gain moksha. But if you waste it, atmaha, you are suicidal because you are letting go of your swarupa. That is like a suicide only, no? Like you let go of yourself is suicide. Itah kon vasti mudhatma yastu swartho pramadyati durlabham manusham deham prapya tatrapi paurusham. Itaha konu asti mudatma yaha tu swartho pramadyati. Durlabham manusham deham prapya tatrapi paurusham. Pramadyati. Pramada. Pramada means the same thing. Whatever I had just described. Neglect. Mudhatma. The person who neglects this to achieve this is a mudhatma only. Having gained this manusha deha and paurusham. The same thing is expressed here. Vadantu shastrani, yajantu devan, kurvantu karmani, bhajantu devataha. Atmaikya bodhena vinapi muktihi na siddhyati brahmashatantarepi. You can talk all kinds of shastra, tarka, nyaya, mimamsa, right, and vyakarana. Nahi nahi rakshati dukrinj garane. All kinds of things. You can be a great scientist. You can be the Prime Minister, President of the America. You can do all kinds of puja, yajantu devan. I have done 4 times puja, kala sandhi, all these things, everything I do. Kurvantu karmani, you can do all kinds of work, effort, yaga, yajna. Bhajantu devadaha, you can do all kinds of prarthana. But the mukti is not possible. Atmaikya bodhena vina. Brahmashatantarepi na siddhyati. The Brahma's life is like millions of years of our lifespan. 100 such Brahma's life also you can live by doing all this Shastra Vadanam, Deva Yajanam, Deva Bhajanam, okay, Karma, doing Karma. But Atmaikya Bodha is not there. You can't gain liberation. Why? Because Dvaitadhi Bhayam. So long as you are limited, you are not free. Simple. You are not free. Because you can always have a fear, you can have a comparison, you can have a competition, you can have any kind of thing with the second thing, and you are not free. Only when you recognize that you are a Nirguna, Niravayava, Nirakara, Nitya Mukta, Nitya Shuddha, Nitya Buddha Swarupa, that alone can liberate. Because then you are totally free. There is nothing else. You can rest in your Swarupa. That alone can give moksha. There is no other moksha which is possible. Every limitation, you can give the name moksha to going to heaven, going to that place, this place. That can't be moksha because the limited you is a limited you. Even if you are being protected by a god, but that protection also creates a response in you. You are afraid. When will that god get angry with me? Oh, no, he is a Karunyavan. He will be, but your fear will be there. What if I do something wrong? Though they are saying he is having full of karuna. Because you are still a person who is a suspecting person, no? Unless the God changes your mind completely, then that means that you are not the same person. Then who is the one who is gaining the moksha? So these are things you have to clearly think. What is moksha? How it can be gained? So Shastra is here very clear. Atmaikya bodhena vina na muktihi. The aikyatvam, there is only one. Aikyam means what? There is a second thing and you also go and get attached to that. That is not aikyam here. There is only one thing. There is only ekatvam. There is no nana. That's why it is not called as a singular monism and all they say no in English. But we don't say like there is Advaitam. You can't count a second. That's all. Only with reference to count one or two. If there is no two, where is one? Yeah. So that is why it's Advayam. Dvida Bhava is not there. That is moksha. There is no other moksha possible, he says. We'll see Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.